Welcome to Exploring the Mystical Side of Life with your host, Linda Lang.
Hi, this is Linda Lang from ThoughtChange.com. Today, our focus is on intuition and the third eye. I have Susan Shumsky, an author and intuition expert, as my guest, and I'm excited to delve into this topic with her. Welcome, Susan.
I'm thrilled to be here with you today, Linda.
Well, I'm a healer and practitioner, and one of the things that my clients really like to spark is that third eye. They want to be more clairvoyant, have more connection with their intuition. So that's kind of the hot chakra. So
a hot spot chakra, right?
I think all the chakras have value and work together as a system. But today we're focusing on that intuitive side.
We have 7 major chakras and 7 other chakras that I talk about in a few of my books. One of the most recent is the big book of chakras and chakra healing. But I also wrote a book called Awaken Your Third Eye that focuses solely on the third eye. And all the chakras are important, of course, because they are what's keeping you alive. We inhabit this gross physical body, but we also have a subtle body. And in that subtle body, we have an entire energy system. Life force energy is flowing through that subtle body along specific pathways that are called meridian in China, and they're called nadi in India. And this prana, or life force energy, which is called chi in China and ki in Japan, flows through these conduits of energy flowing throughout our body, keeping us alive, bringing movement and circulation and heat to the body. So each one of these chakras has a specific function. The third eye chakra is mainly, its function is about higher awareness, higher consciousness, and it's about spiritual illumination. Every one of the major 7 chakras is associated with a planet. And the third eye chakra, which is the 6th chakra, is associated with the planet Jupiter. In Sanskrit, the word for Jupiter is guru. So in other words, our third eye is our inner guru, our inner teacher, our mentor. And that mentor is a mentor for higher awareness. So the third eye is associated with unbounded consciousness. It's associated with clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient abilities. It's associated with subtle perception. It's associated with supersensory perception, subtle sensory perception. And those senses see, hear, and feel subtle things, things from a distance, prophecy, higher perception, seeing things that are on a subtle level.
I think everyone has a potential to develop those skills. Some people, it's like automatic and they don't have to kind of do any work. And then some people, maybe there's something in the way, something blocking, or maybe an unwillingness on their part, even if it's unconscious. Do you have any suggestions how people can start to explore what's possible with their third eye?
Everything that I teach is based upon one principle, and that is ask and it shall be given unto you. So it's a matter of asking and receiving, asking and receiving. So how would you go about asking? Well, the best way to start is to just sit down in a chair and close your eyes and begin to take a few deep breaths. So breathing in through the nose, and you can breathe out through the nose or the mouth, it doesn't matter, but mainly important is to breathe in through the nose. And with each deep breath, just have the intention of going deeper and deeper and deeper into meditation. So breathing in and then letting go with each out breath, just completely letting go with every out breath. And just having the intention, I'm going into a deeper and deeper meditation. So taking a few deep breaths like that, and then getting quieter and quieter and taking some more deep breaths, and actually asking to be taken deeper. Remember, I said ask and it shall be given unto you. So it's not only intending, but it's a good idea to call upon a divine being, or perhaps an ascended master or deity or angel or archangel, or call upon many of them and ask them to assist you, ask them to take you deeper, ask them to help you to develop whatever it is you want, whether you want healing, whether you want to develop your third eye, whether you want to develop your clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient abilities, whatever it is you want, ask for it, and then take more deep breaths, and then just do what I call the do nothing program. That have a neutral attitude, but open to receive, and then you will receive the answer to your question. You will receive whatever it is you're asking for. I think it's a good idea to ask for something very specific, whether that be healing, or whether in a specific area or a specific part of your life, or whether that be the answer to a specific question. Maybe you have a specific problem in your life, like you're not getting along with your boss, you're not getting along with your spouse, you have a problem with your kids. Whatever it is, ask, and then take a deep breath, and then see what comes to you. Allow yourself to receive. That's the beginning of intuition, asking and receiving.
And so what I'm hearing from you is that it's really important to leave that space to actually receive an answer in however it comes to you.
That's right. It's really important. If you want to develop intuition, you can't use a meditation where you're just where your focus is on a specific thing, like a mantra or who knows what. I don't know. There's many different types of meditation. But if you want to develop intuition, you've got to allow. You have to give space for yourself to get the answer to your question, or get the experience that you've asked for.
And the answer might show up in a way totally unexpected. I mean, you can have a vision, right? You could hear something, you could feel something, and you might have to interpret it, or it might be something that shows up in your life.
What I teach is I teach people to be able to receive intuition at will. Okay, at will means ask and then allow and receive. It could come in other ways, but there are three main ways during meditation that we would receive the intuition, and that would be seeing, clairvoyance, clear seeing. Hearing would be the second way, clear hearing, clairaudience. And the third way, clear feeling, clairsentience. Most people are actually clairsentients. It's like if you walk into a room where there's a party going on and you notice different people in the room, and you can sense different energies from different people. Some people may seem very kind of uptight. Others may seem easygoing. Some people might seem like they have an angry side to them. You can just sense different feelings from different people. I think everybody is like that they can kind of perceive the feelings of others. So clairsentience is quite more common throughout the society than maybe the others, the clairvoyance or clairaudience.
I think it's a pretty useful sense to have, because you can't really, it's harder to ignore, and you don't really have to interpret it. You can tell if something feels uncomfortable or open and light and joyful.
And many people call it a gut feeling. That's the clairsentient ability.
I'm curious, Susan, is there such a thing as having your third eye open too much? Are there any dangers or consequences? Is that even possible?
I'm glad you asked that question, Linda, because some people are energy sponges. That means they absorb the energy around them as a sponge absorbs water. So they're walking through their day and they're meeting different people. And with each person they meet, they feel like that person is sapping their energy. That person's like a vampire who's draining their energy from them. And then by the end of the day, if you're an energy sponge like that, by the end of the day, all you can do is just lie in your bed. You're just so exhausted, you can't even do anything from being drained all day by different people, different energies. So somebody who's overly sensitive, I don't really want to say overly sensitive, somebody who has not yet mastered the skill of being able to close off their aura when they're in these types of situations will be an energy sponge and will find themselves drained quite a bit. So that's why it's really important to learn how to be connected to the spiritual world, but to disconnect from the different other levels of existence, the astral world, the mental world, the environmental world, and to be connected to the spiritual world so that you are being fed energy all the time rather than being drained all the time. So I'm going to give you all an affirmation right now to help you to be able to maintain the integrity, the centeredness, despite all the energies in the environment that you may find are draining your energy. So the affirmation goes like this: I am in control. I am one with God. I am the only authority in my life. I am divinely protected by the light of my being. I close off my aura and body of light to the lower astral levels of mind, and I open to the spiritual world. Thank you, God, and so it is.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so just carrying on from that perspective, I suppose that it's really important that you stay fully present and grounded in your body.
There are various methods for staying present and grounded in your body. I like to use the power of speech because it does produce instantaneous results, such as the little affirmation that I just gave you. Even just saying, I am in control, brings you right back to center, even those 4 words. So the power of speech is underappreciated, underestimated. Lord Buddha said one time, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. If a person speaks or acts with a pure thought, then happiness follows him or her. If a person speaks or acts with an impure thought, then unhappiness follows him or her. And Jesus once said that a person is not defiled by what they put into their mouth. They are defiled by what comes out of their mouth. So, and Jesus, many times, if you read the New Testament, you'll find many times he talks about the power of speech. He talks about how important it is that whatever we say, because whatever we say is going to manifest. For example, if we go around saying, oh, I'm so unhappy, oh, I'm so sick, I'm so drained, I'm so poor, I'm so whatever it is, complaining like that, and using the words I am, which invokes the mighty I am presence whenever you speak those words, you're going to manifest those things. So it's better to be walking around saying, I am joyous, I am happy, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am loved. I mean, just notice the difference in vibration when I say those positive statements. You can test that for yourself. You'll feel more energized when you say positive statements. So it's really, really important to be vigilant about what's coming out of your mouth.
And if you take that space, you can tell how your energy system responds when you say something.
You can do muscle testing. And with the muscle testing, you can notice that you're strong when you say something positive, and you will become weak immediately instantaneously when you say something negative. There are other methods of grounding, though. I mean, you can visualize. If you're good at visualizing, you can visualize your feet planted on the floor or on the ground. You can even go outside and imagine that there's a cord of energy that's going down to the center of the earth. These are some ways to experience grounding. Also, to just go outside and walk around in nature. You're going to be more grounded if you just go outside, get off of the computer, you get off the electronic devices, unplug, go outside, walk along a stream, take a hike, go up on a mountain. You know, just being outside is you're in nature then, and you are automatically grounded.
I think of a friend of mine once upon a time who was very clairvoyant. She would see images, but she would have a difficult time to interpret them. So maybe you could talk a little bit about how people could start learning their own symbols and what they mean.
Exactly. So if you're getting a visual impression and you can't figure out how to interpret it, the best way is to ask Spirit, please help me interpret this. What does this mean? And then take a big deep breath, do the do nothing program, and allow the interpretation to come to you. And the interpretation may come to you as another vision, or it may come to you as words that come into your mind. And words, when words are fed into your mind, that is a clairaudient experience. That means you're receiving words. You may receive one word, 2 words, a whole sentence. And then after you receive that word or a sentence, it's a good idea to speak it out audibly. Say it. I really highly recommend that when you're receiving things that you say them audibly, because that brings it right out onto the earth plane. It becomes more concrete. You realize, oh, okay, I saw a tree, and that is the tree of life, and there are blossoms on the tree, and those blossoms are the blossoming of my new future. You know, poetry will start coming out of your mouth. You'll start to receive messages and interpretations of whatever it is you're seeing, hearing, feeling.
I think that's brilliant, Susan, because it takes it off the level of a concept or a thought. Do you think it's fair to say then that it's something that you need to do regularly and maybe even acknowledge when you do get a message? I find for me that if I acknowledge something and I have appreciation, it's kind of like my whole system says, oh, you like that? Here's more.
Exactly. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I always tell people, practice, 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 practice. If you want to become good at anything in life, you have to practice. And that's true with developing your intuition. If you practice, 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 you'll get better and better at it. And here's a really important point. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Because when we're fledglings trying to develop our intuition, we're going to think we're getting a message, and it may not be really that clear. And maybe we even act on that message, and it turns out that it doesn't come out so great. We received guidance and we were told to do something, and then it didn't turn out the way we wanted. It's really important to continue to have faith and continue to practice and continue to put your guidance into action. So one of the main things that I teach is to help people to be led by spirit on a daily basis, meaning asking for guidance. Because when you ask for guidance and you actually act on that, you put it into practice, what you find is miracles will start showing up all over your life. Your life is going to become very magical, very mystical, and you'll be in the right place at the right time doing the right thing, and the right people will show up. You'll find that there lots of serendipity and coincidences in your life that are not really coincidences. And that will become more and more and more as you develop this ability to listen to the inner voice, the still small voice within you, which is really your higher self speaking to you. And listen to that, follow that, trust that, put it into practice, put it into action. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. A lot of people, if they get disappointed, if they feel, oh no, I'm not clear, I must be wrong, then they feel discouraged and they don't want to continue to practice. But if you continue to practice and practice, you're going to get better and you'll get clearer.
And I think sometimes what looks like a mistake, because you have a specific outlook of how you think things should be, what looks like a mistake or a failure actually opens the door to something even better. That's
correct. Absolutely.
I loved your whole conversation about the importance of taking action.
Really, it's the spiritual path. It's the inner teaching. That is what the third eye is. The third eye is an opening to that inner exploration so that you've developed all these supersensory perceptions, and at the end of that process, really realize who you truly are, realize your true self, and express your true mission, your true purpose on this planet. And as you take the baby steps, you'll be given baby steps, actually, if you listen to the inner voice and you allow Spirit with a capital S to guide you, you'll be given little assignments. And as you complete those assignments, you are beginning to really fulfill your purpose. You're beginning to do that which you came here to do. And at first, it may not seem that way, but if you're willing to take those steps, those action steps that you're given, you're going to find your life is becoming very, very amazing.
I think the thing that really inspires me the most is that it makes a life so much more fun and more when there's magic, and you can kind of follow the breadcrumbs that Spirit is leading you. I mean, you go to places you wouldn't even have considered, really.
We have to understand that in this lifetime, there's more than maybe what we've thought about, and that we're here to do something very specific, and that we're here on a mission, on a calling. But not only that, we're here to realize who we really are. More than anything, that's why we're here, is to realize who we really are and to express that and contribute that to the planet. So rather than spending your life in trivialities, it would be a good idea to focus on your purpose and to make a majority of your time be devoted to that. So if you're doing something in your life that you really hate doing, it's a good idea for you to begin to just take a self-inventory. What is it that I can be doing that's more aligned to my true purpose? And you'll find that if you're willing to do that, that almighty nature is going to come along and assist you to actually fulfill that purpose. In other words, it might seem scary at first because, oh my gosh, how am I going to make a living? Is it even possible for me to make a living doing XYZ that I'm being guided to do? But you'll find that if you start taking those baby steps, the little baby steps in the direction of fulfilling your purpose, by just doing those little assignments that you're going to be given, you'll find, oh, well, maybe I really can make a living at this. Maybe I really can make this dedication in my life to follow that guidance and to fulfill that purpose, to really listen to the calling and putting it into action.
Susan, would you like to share your website?
My website is drsusan.org. That's drsusan.org. And I also have another important website. It's divinetravels.com.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Exploring the Mystical Side of Life. You will find us on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. Come and visit me at thoughtchange.com and pick up your copy of Learning to Listen. We'll see you again next time. Bye for now.